Hello, people of the world. I am Juan, and I am just going to give you commentary over my speed modeling here, because it took 3 hours to create, and I really don't have the internet to upload 3 hours, and by that I mean patience. So basically what I'm going through here is just getting the basic outline and blocking out the mesh through the orthographic view on the right. Now for this project I am working with a limitation of 1950 tries. So I try to keep things as simple as I can, although I do end up being reasonably well under that limit. Although at the end of this I forgot to record, and so there's minor changes, but I'll go through that. So basically what I'm doing is I'm making separate objects for each part. As you can see, I'm just blocking out each part individually and making sure that they line up. Very fast square modeling, making one plane, then extruding it over and merging it through a max mirror. Then I add on other details and such. I'm using Blender 2.77 for that. And the gun that I'm currently making is the Scar H, and I got this off this this picture off Blueprints, theblueprints.com, I think. I don't know, the link will be in the description. Up the top you can see I've gone up to 1950, so I have to remove a whole lot of geometry later on, but I'm not too fussed about that so far, because a lot of this work will be reduced down with deleting faces on the inside of things and merging unneeded squares into triangles. You don't see that in the this video though. This is just me basically modeling the thing. But after this I will be showing you what I did and how I did to transfer over the normal maps from the high poly to the low poly, and some issues that you might come through. So yeah, still just going through creating the basic outline, the blocking out of stuff. Every part is separate bits, and deleted the faces, which ones you can't see. Actually, for this site here, I ended up scrapping it because I didn't feel like it, I don't know, went with the gun. It was too bulky and just didn't look right to me. So I ended up replacing this with the original site that's on the reference image, the holographic. Just trying to figure out, when you're modeling things, you want to just like get the right feel for stuff. And right here, this part here was supposed to be, I think, some kind of ejector thing for the bullet, I think. I don't know what exactly it was, but I couldn't actually end up having that in my first initial stage, but I probably could go back and put that in. This little doodad here is for the high poly mesh here, so now I'm modeling the high poly over for the normal maps to go on. Now I'm making this for a game engine for Unreal. This is just a what do they call it? Exercise for our class at Media Design School. Just doing little nuts and bolts and stuff. So this has got a few minutes left, and then I'll just go on and talk about what changes I've done and why I've done them. You'll also notice there with that handle grip in the bullet chamber, I I did them in reverse by accident because I was confused about this thing. I ended up fixing those. And you'll know what I mean by reverse. I put the faces inward instead of outward. And yeah. And this whole part here got screwed up as well when I put the subdivision on it. I also fixed that. So yeah, I think this is about the end of the video. So I'll just quickly go into Blender now and show you what I have created without being recorded. Okay, so here I am and the new one. And so as you can see, everything is kind of smoother. I've changed this part here. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just go through. So this part here, I ended up subdividing that and smoothing off the side here with a sharp edge. There was a lot of problems with this part over here. It had inset face, beveled and smoothed and sharpened edges on this, around the sides here. I put in these faces, these little buttons and such, because I watched a YouTube thing saying for normal maps it doesn't really matter how far out they come, just as long as the geometry is there. So that was a helpful tip. And like I said, I added a holoscope instead, and that will be, this is just a plane, and they'll be textured over with the red dot and a fennel to make it look glassy. A fennel is kind of like glass material. And like I said, I edited this so it was more sharper. Although I think in the normal map I won't be having that anyway. I still need to refine it. I changed these to have points on them. That's just a normal that. And then yeah. So I had a lot of trouble baking this onto my low poly, which is this here. I also unwrapped it as well. It's not too messy, I think. I mean, like, it's not bad. It's not the best, I guess, but it'll do. I mean, everything is super close and tight together. Not much texture space I could do, although, yeah. So everything was unwrapped there, and that looked nice. And actually what I did is I exported the high poly mesh here into ZBrush. So because everything was a separate object, I exported it all into ZBrush. This might take a little while. This has 3.4 million triangles, I think. 3.4, I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure about that. But no, it's 3 point something. Yeah, 3.4, there we go. That was a guess. I only looked at it once. Oh, whoops. Okay. So, then I imported into ZBrush, okay? The reason why I did that is because all these bits here were separated from the original mesh. And what I wanted from ZBrush was the Dynamesh tool here. What that does is it connects all objects together. So you can see here how it connected the seams there, and pretty much added a shit ton of geometry. And the reason why it needed that was because the light probes were hitting all these faces on the other ones that were on the other model that was not connected to this, so it goes whoosh and it goes through, and then so forth. And I had a whole bunch of weird looking maps and just didn't look right at all. This part here was not even getting rendered at all, and so yeah, I ended up putting it in here and dynameshing everything. Although the normal map still needs to be touched up, but yeah. Then after I put it into there, I baked in normals and X normals, and that created this. And as you can see, there's still a little bit of stuff that's not right here. I think it's this part here. It's not supposed to be there. That needs to be fixed up. This needs to be fixed up, and I'll go through that manually. Just because it's not too bad, but you always need to manually touch up a couple of bits. And the occlusion map came through quite nice. Although, again, I need to fix off this part and get rid of this little jigged edge there. But anyway, so we go into Unreal, and you'll see I added a material to the gun, and it's got a little bit of scratch marks on it, if you can see. And you can see here, I had like the seam here. I got to get rid of those. This part here yeah. So a lot of stuff got mixed up, but the general stuff was there. And I think, yeah, I just need to smooth out that through Photoshop. But the general part of the gun is quite nice. Like, all I wanted really was this, those. That part's not too bad, although there's a little bit of a thing here which I need to get rid of. Which is quite it's easy to just smudge that out through Photoshop. There's a little line here, which I can just pull the UVs back like a pixel, which will fix that. So yeah, that was the end product result on the mesh.